Hi, dear students, welcome. I think all of you are very fine. Okay, today we are going through the new chapter. Its name is An Indian American Women in Space, Kalpana Chawla. Okay, so all of you know about the Kalpana Chawla. You may be heard about her in so many places and in so many GK questions about Kalpana Chawla. This is the Kalpana Chawla, and Kalpana Chawla born in Karnal district of the Haryana state, and she is the first Indian woman who went to space. First Indian American woman went to space. So firstly we can study some points about Kalpana Chawla. Okay, look. First Indian American woman astronaut. Born in Karnal, Haryana, graduated from Tagore School and completed her master's degree from US and completed her PhD in aerospace engineering. An Indian American woman in space, Kalpana Chawla. Before we read, in 1997, an Indian American, Kalpana Chawla, was part of international crew aboard the US Space Shuttle Columbia, becoming the first woman born in India to go into space. Sadly, this second mission in Columbia ended in tragedy. Before you reach, in 1997, an Indian American. Indian means born in India and American means and got the citizenship of America. Who is that one? Kalpana Chawla was part of the international crew. Crew means a group of people working and operating an aircraft. That mean by crew. Okay. So she was the part of an international crew aboard the US Space Shuttle and its name is Columbia. Also becoming the first woman born in India. Also she became the first woman born in India and to go into the space. Sadly, the second mission in Columbia, but the second mission in aircraft named Columbia entered in tragedy. That entered in a big accident. It ended in a serious accident. So first point, a space shuttle. A space shuttle means it's a air spacecraft. It is a spacecraft that is made for repeated space travel. It is used to repeated space travel, not one time. It is used to travel more and more time, unlike a rocket. For example, between Earth and space station. For example, we can use to travel between Earth and space station. That is why known as a spacecraft or a space shuttle. Then second, use a dictionary to do the tasks below. So in the below they have given some tasks. So you have to use the dictionary to find it. Find out the meanings of the following words and phrases. So there have some words and phrases. So you have to find its meaning. I think all of you got its meaning of the first one. Then look, we have to look the different sentences and phrases here. So first phrase was naturalized US citizen. It means naturalized means admit a foreigner to the citizenship of a country. So naturalized US citizen means admit a foreigner from other country and give the citizenship of a US and to give the citizenship of US. Okay, that mean by naturalized US citizen. Here the Kalpana Chawla was naturalized US citizen because firstly she was an Indian. Later she given the citizenship of US. B. Space, all of you know. Then C. Frontier of space means boundary of the space. G abroad, it is also all of you know, abroad. E mean E, lift off, how it different from the takeoff. So there have difference between lift off and takeoff. Okay, takeoff means a distance it is a distance covered by aeroplane from the starting of the takeoff point at the takeoffing surface. That is the meaning of the takeoff. Then the meaning of liftoff means when the aeroplane's wheel lift off the ground. This process is known as liftoff. This process is known as liftoff. Okay. Next word, crew. We discussed about it. It means a group of people working and operating an aircraft. That is the meaning of crew. Then second, notice the spelling of these words in the lesson. Aeroplane program. This is how these words are spelled in American English and how they are spelled in British English. So the spelling AIRPLANE. It is the American English. It is the American English and it is pronounced as aeroplane. And it's a British English. Its spelling is AEROPLANE and it pronounced as aeroplane. And next word is program. PROGRAM. This is the spelling of the program according to the American English. Okay, and in British English, according to the British English, the spelling of the program is PROGRAME, and we are following the British English, but the spelling pronunciation of the program according to British and American English is alike. It is alike. It means normally the two are same, like it pronounces program. First, we have to read a news report. Look this. A news report. Tragedy in space. US Space Shuttle Columbia breaks into flames. Breaks into flames means it becomes into flame. That means by the breaks into flames. In an unprecedented space tragedy. Tragedy means a serious accident. Unprecedented means unknown. So in an unknown space tragedy, US Space Shuttle named Columbia, US Space Shuttle and its name Columbia, carrying Indian-born American astronaut Kalpana Chawla. It is carrying an Indian-born American and American citizenship given astronaut named Kalpana Chawla and six other members broke apart in flames as it streaked over Texas towards its landing strip on Saturday. So I am telling some meanings. Streak means run at the speed of the lightning, and Texas, all of you know, it is a name of a place in US. And okay, then we can go. Broke apart in flames. This spaceship named Columbia broke into the flames as it ran on the speed of the lightning towards over the Texas towards its landing mark on the Saturday of the 1st of the February 2003, killing all 7 on the board, and it killed all 7 members including the Kalpana Chawla also on the board means inside of the craft, killing the all 7 members including the Kalpana Chawla inside of this craft. The shuttle lost the contact with NASA at about 9 am as it came for landing on the 9 am. This space shuttle lost its contact with NASA. It was flying at an altitude of over 2 lakh feet and traveling at over 20,000 kilometers. So However, when ground control lost contact with the shuttle and the control of the ground control lost the contact with the shuttle, Columbia had lifted off on 16th of January 2003. This Columbia had lifted off on the 16th of January 2003 from the Kentucky Space Center of the Florida, and it had stayed in orbit for 16 days, and this Columbia it stayed at the orbit for 16 days, and the 7 members crew conducted 80 experiments, and these 7 crew members of this space shuttle they conducted about 80 experiments before it began its downwards journey. Before it was returning from the orbit, they conducted 18 experiments from there, and which entered in tragedy. That journey entered in tragedy. This was Columbia's 28th space flight. This was Columbia's 28th space flight, and the shuttle was said to be good for 100 flights. Okay, then we can go through the chapter. Kalpana Chawla said that she never dreamed. She said that she never dreamed as a child in Karnal. When she was a child in Karnal, she never dreamed that she would cross the frontier of the space. She didn't dream that she never would cross the frontier of the space. She dreamed like this. ഒരിക്കലും ഫ്രോണ്ടിയർ ക്രോസ് ചെയ്യുകയില്ല എന്നവരുടെ കുട്ടിക്കാലത്ത് കൽപ്പന ചൗള ചിന്തിച്ചിരുന്നു. It was the enough that her parents allowed her to attend engineering college after she graduated from Tagore School. But it was enough to her. What was that? Her parents of Kalpana Chawla allowed her. They gave permission and allowed Kalpana Chawla for what? To attend engineering college. To attend in the engineering college after she graduated from the Tagore School. After she graduated from the Tagore School, her parents gave the permission her to join at the engineering college. After a Bachelor of Science degree in aeronautical engineering, after she completed her Bachelor of Science in aeronautical engineering, and this was against the great opposition from her father. She got a great opposition from her father, but she never minded that opposition, and after that she went for a master's degree. She went for MA, means master's degree in United States of America. After her Bachelor of Science degree in aeronautical engineering, she went to master's degree into the US, United States of America. She later, after that, she earned her PhD. After her BA and MA, she earned her PhD in aerospace engineering. Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian American woman. She was the first Indian American woman astronaut to blast off means take off, from the launch pad at the Cape Canaveral, Florida. So she was the first Indian American woman who take off from the launch pad at the Cape Canaveral from the Florida. Launch pad means area on which the rocket stands for launching. This launching pad was at Florida, at US, okay, and participated in a successful mission in space. And Kalpana Chawla participated in a successful mission in space. Her family from India, family of Kalpana Chawla from India, cheered. They became happy. They pleasured along with the staff at the Kennedy Space Center. So family of Kalpana Chawla, they became in pleasure with the staff at the Kennedy Space Center as they watched the Columbia liftoff. As they watched the lifting of the Columbia. So the family of Kalpana Chawla and the staff at the Space Center, all of them became very happy when the Columbia lifted off from its launching pad. They became very happy by watching its lift off. Kalpana was born in Karnal, Haryana, but was a naturalized US citizen. Naturalized means given the citizenship, granted the citizenship. Kalpana Chawla was born in Karnal district on the state of the Haryana. Also, she granted the citizenship of the US. Married to flight instructor Jean Pierre Harrison. Also, she married with the flight instructor, and his name was Jean Pierre Harrison. Besides being an astronaut, apart from an astronaut, she was licensed to fly single and multi-engine land aeroplanes. Also, she was licensed to fly the single and multi-engine land aeroplanes. She given the license to fly the aeroplanes of the single and multi-engine land aeroplanes. Also, single engine seaplanes. Also, she given the license to fly the single engine seaplane also, and gliders also. She given the license to fly the gliders also. Glider means a light aircraft flying without engine. So also she given the license to fly a light flight without the engine also. So she given so many license, the multi-engine and single engine aeroplanes and single engine aeroplanes, and which is flying at the seaplanes. Okay, also she given the license to fly the gliders also, the flight without the engine also. She was also a certified flight instructor. From these points, we can understand the dignity of the Kalpana Chawla. From this point, we can understand the dignity and the power of the Kalpana Chawla. She got so many licenses related in account of the flights. Also, she became a flight instructor also. This is her dignity. After qualifying as a pilot, Kalpana began to consider another challenge. After she qualified as a pilot, Kalpana began to consider another challenge. She began to consider another challenge. What is that one? Applying to NASA's Space Shuttle program. That was in the matter related with applying to NASA's Space Shuttle program. That challenge was to apply for the NASA's Space Shuttle program. She was first hired as a research scientist at NASA. Hired means to called for employing by wages. So she was first hired. So she was firstly hired means she called as an employee for wages as a research scientist at NASA. And in 1994 she was selected by NASA. In 1994 she was selected by NASA for the training as an astronaut. So NASA selected Kalpana Chawla for training as an astronaut in their program. Then look the fourth. When asked what it was like being a woman in her field, she replied. So one time she asked what she is feeling in this field as a woman. She replied that I really never ever thought while pursuing my studies or doing anything else that I was a woman or a person from a small city or a different country? So she replied that I really never ever thought, but really I didn't thought never while pursuing. Pursuing means to follow or to chase. So she told that while pursuing my studies, while she was following her studies or doing anything else that was a woman and that I was a woman also or a person from a small city or I was a person from a small city or from a different country because her training is held at NASA. It held at US, United States of America. So she told that. So she didn't thought about her gender as a woman, or she didn't thought about that she was a person from a small city, or she didn't thought that she was from another country. She didn't thought about these things when she was following her studies in aeronautical engineering and when she was in training in NASA. She didn't thought about these things. She followed her dream. കൽപ്പന ചൗള ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ചൊന്നും ചിന്തിച്ചില്ല. മറ്റൊരു രാജ്യത്തിൽ നിന്നുള്ളതാണോ എന്നോ വിമണാണെന്നോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ചെറിയ സിറ്റിയിൽ നിന്നുമാണോ എന്നൊന്നും അവളുടെ പഠനങ്ങൾ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുമ്പോൾ ഈ കാര്യങ്ങളൊന്നും അവൾ ചിന്തിച്ചില്ല. I pretty much had my dreams like anyone else. So I was so many dreams like anyone else and I followed them. So she was so many dreams and she followed her dreams. And the people who were around me fortunately always encouraged me and said, if that is what you want to do, carry on. And the people who were around me, so the people who are living with her around her fortunately always encouraged me and said, always the people who are living around her, they encouraged her and said to Kalpana Chawla what they said, if that is what you want to do, carry on. If you want that is your dream, then you have to carry on. So you have to carry on your dreams. Don't be lazy to follow your dreams. You have to follow your dreams. So all people encouraged Kalpana Chawla to follow through her dreams. The next paragraph, fifth paragraph. Kalpana's first space mission in the Space Shuttle Columbia was 15 days and 16 hours and 34 minutes long. So Kalpana's first mission on the Space Shuttle named Columbia, which prolonged for 15 days and 16 hours and 34 minutes. During this time, she went around the Earth 252 times. So during this period means during these 15 days, what she did, she went around the Earth. She went around the Earth for how many times? 252 times, traveling 10.45 million kilometers. So she traveled around the Earth how many kilometers? 10.47 million kilometers. The crew, we told that the group of people operating a spacecraft or a plane, that is the crew. So the crew included the group of the people who were operating this Columbia. They included a Japanese and a Ukraine astronaut. In that crew there was a Japanese and a Ukraine astronaut also. They were accompanied with Kalpana Chawla. The crew performed experiments such as pollinating the plants to observe food growth in space. So this crew team, They performed experiments. They performed so many experiments, such as pollinating the plants, such like the pollinating the plants, to observe for what? To observe the food growth in space. This experiment was to observe the growth of the food in the space, and the test for making the stronger metal and faster computer chips. Also, they did the experiment and tests for what? For making the stronger metals. For making the stronger metals and faster computer chips, and making the faster computer chips. So the how many experiments they did? What kind of experiments they did? The experiments for pollinating the plants and to making the stronger metals, also faster computer also, all for a price tag about $56 million. This all was, the expense was totally $56 million. One Saturday night, when the news about the Columbia disaster broke, there was shock and disbelief. On the Saturday night, the Columbia's accident is happened on the Saturday night. That is telling here. On the Saturday night, when the news about the Columbia disaster, when the news about the accident of the Columbia broke, there was shock and disbelief. There was a shock and disbelief over the NASA and the Space Center and at the home of these all crew members. Then the next page. This is the picture of the take-offing of the Columbia. Okay, you can see its picture here. Okay. Then look. The town of Karnal spent a sleepless night as thousands of households stayed glued to their television sets in the hope that Kalpana and the crew had somehow survived, a journalist wrote. So the town of Karnal spent a sleepless night. The Karnal city, they spent a sleepless night as the thousands of householders stayed. Glued means join, to join with. So the householders, thousands of the householders, they joined with the television sets in the hope. All of them, they was watching the video and watching the news in a hope that, what was their hope? That the Kalpana and the crew had somehow survived. All of them, they thought that, and they prayed that Kalpana Chawla and the crew members, they will survive somehow. എങ്ങനെയെങ്കിലും അവർ സർവൈവ് ചെയ്യും എന്ന് അവർ ചിന്തിച്ചു. A journalist wrote. So a journalist wrote this sentence. Look. So a journalist wrote that she was a heroine. Kalpana Chawla was a heroine. It takes enormous ability to become an astronaut. It takes enormous means more, ധാരാളം. It takes enormous ability. It need to more ability to become an astronaut. You need to know a lot about everything. So you need to know more and more about all things, from biology to astrophysics. So from biology you have to know about the astrophysics. Astrophysics means the knowledge about the stars and the physical of the stars, all things about the astronomy. So you have to need this also. And to aeronautical engineering, then you have to know deeply in aeronautical engineering. In this age of super specialization, you must have encyclopedic knowledge to be an astronaut. So you have to be like an encyclopedia. You have to need more and more knowledge like an encyclopedia. That is mean by the encyclopedic. So you have to need encyclopedic knowledge to be an astronaut. Her achievements is awe-inspiring. Awe-inspiring means feeling of respect. So her achievements of the Kalpana Chawla is feeling of a respect. It is the awe-inspiring. It is a feeling of respect. Then turn next page, seventh paragraph. For million of young Indians, for the million of young people in India, the story of the Kalpana Chawla. The story of the Kalpana Chawla. Who is the Kalpana Chawla? A girl from a small town who touched the skies. She is a girl from a small town. She is a girl from a small town who touched the skies. Who touched the skies had become an inspiration. This girl from the small city of India became an inspiration to all people, and especially for the million young people of the India. Kalpana Chawla is an inspiration for the young people of the India. In a message that she sent from abroad, the Space Shuttle Columbia, to students of her college in Chandigarh, Kalpana said. So Kalpana Chawla sent a message. In a message that she sent, which message she sent from the abroad? She sent a message from the abroad of the Space Shuttle Columbia, for whom she sent that message to the students of her college. She sent this message to her students in the college at the Chandigarh. So she said in that message, the path from dreams to success does exist. The path from the dreams to the success, toward the success, it is existing. അത് നിലനിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഡ്രീമിലേക്കുള്ള വഴി ഇപ്പോഴുമുണ്ട്. May you have the vision to find it, but you have to need, you need a vision to find that way, the courage to get into it, and you need to the courage to get into that dream, and into that path of that dream you need to a courage. Wishing you a great journey, and wishing you a great journey like this, she told in her message to her students in the college. There will surely be many who starts off on this journey to fulfill their dreams. So there will be surely be many who start off this journey to fulfill their dreams. There have maybe so many people to fulfill their journey. Adapted from Spanish, January February 1998. So this part of the chapter is adapted from the journal named Span. Okay. So I think all of you understood this chapter, and in this chapter here have so many inspiration to all people, especially here have an inspiration for the all people and all million young people of the India. Here have a big inspiration. They have to a big inspiration in this story. Here tells that if you have a dream, you have to follow on that dream, and you need to have courage, and you have to find the way to pass and to go towards that dream, and you need a big courage to fulfill your dream. Okay, thank you for watching, and we can see you later.